Then somebody wrote a book. This book is called Uncle Tom's Cabin. It was written in 1852 by an abolitionist author named Harriet Beecher Stowe. So Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote this book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. She herself was from the North, right? And so she ended up writing about a story, a fiction story, as in not true story, but based on realities. And the story was about slavery in the South. And as people in the North read this novel, as they were reading this book, they were like, oh my gosh, is this what's happening in slavery? This is horrible. As if somehow they didn't know that owning a person and robbing them of their freedom and treating them like objects was somehow not bad. In reading this book, they were enlightened, right? They realized just how bad slavery actually was. Now, I want to remind you, this book was not a true story. It was fiction, but it was realistic fiction at the time. It accurately depicted some of the kinds of things that happen under slavery in the South. And so it absolutely outraged Northerners. Now, remember how we talked about how a lot of people were against slavery, but they weren't doing anything about it? Well, after reading Uncle Tom's Cabin and learning just how bad it really was, they started to do more things about it, right? So Uncle Tom's Cabin actually spurred forward the abolitionist movement in the North and made them want to end slavery even more. Meanwhile, in the South, they were like, it's fiction. It's not even true. It's a made-up story, even though it was realistic fiction and they actually were doing the kinds of things that were in that book. But they were like, it's not even real, even though they really were doing that stuff. So in the South, it made them upset that something as simple as a fiction novel was threatening their precious institution of slavery. So Uncle Tom's Cabin ended up increasing the tension over slavery between the northern states and the southern states. All right, take a moment to fill out your chart.